Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more detailed videos. Charles Mesures' sudden exit from General Hospital has stirred waves across the soap opera community, and the actor himself is finally speaking out, pushing back at speculation and even clapping back at Laura Wright in a way that nobody saw coming. Fans have been buzzing for weeks, wondering what exactly happened behind the scenes. Did he leave on his own? Was it a creative decision? Was there tension on set? Or was it all simply a misunderstanding blown out of proportion by rumors and social media chatter? When Charles Mesures finally broke his silence, his comments immediately lit up the fan base. He made it clear that the storylines, the way characters are treated, and even how actors interact with each other backstage can be far more complicated than what the audience ever gets to see. And in this case, his remarks directed toward Laura Wright, who is beloved for her role as Carly, added fuel to an already raging fire. Mesures didn't just offer a polite statement thanking the writers, the producers, and the fans. Instead, he leaned into honesty. He admitted that working on General Hospital was both an exciting opportunity and also a frustrating challenge. For him, it wasn't just about memorizing lines and stepping onto the set. It was about fighting for meaningful storylines, protecting the integrity of his character, and making sure that his work wasn't overshadowed by behind-the-scenes politics. When the first wave of exit rumors started circulating, many fans assumed that the writers simply wrote him out. But Charles corrected that assumption. He explained that while scripts ultimately come from the writing team, the actors themselves sometimes have limited input, and when a character's trajectory starts to feel pointless or stagnant, it becomes harder to give authentic performances. According to him, that's exactly what happened in his case. He felt boxed in, underutilized, and frustrated that the potential of his storyline was being wasted. And then there was the matter of Laura Wright. She is a central figure on the show, not only as Carly but also as one of the faces most closely associated with General Hospital for more than a decade. Charles revealed that while he respected Laura's work, he wasn't always comfortable with how much influence certain long-running stars had over the creative process. He didn't point fingers in a malicious way, but his words carried weight. He suggested that sometimes newer or less established actors struggle to have their voices heard when major veterans dominate the conversation. That's where the so-called clapback came in. During his remarks, Charles acknowledged that Laura Wright had commented, at least indirectly, on his exit. She seemed to imply that every actor ultimately has to roll with the punches and accept that soaps are ensemble pieces, not vehicles for individual egos. But Charles wasn't having it. He responded by emphasizing that there's a difference between ego and advocating for fair storytelling. He wanted to make it crystal clear that he wasn't walking away because he couldn't share the spotlight. Instead, he left because he wanted to protect his craft and avoid becoming a filler character that audiences barely remembered. This kind of transparency is rare in the soap world. Normally, actors play it safe, offering vague thank yous, keeping drama under wraps, and moving on quietly to the next project. Charles Mesures chose another route. He said, in effect, if fans are going to talk, they deserve to know the truth, even if that truth ruffles feathers. What makes his comments even more impactful is how fans responded. A huge portion of the General Hospital audience sided with him, agreeing that his character had been wasted and that the writing didn't give him enough room to shine. Social media threads filled with viewers asking why the show would bring in such a talented performer only to push him into the background. And once his comments about Laura Wright circulated, the debate only intensified. Some fans argued that Laura has every right to speak her mind, while others said her stance represented the kind of entitlement that makes it harder for newer stars to thrive. Charles also opened up about the emotional toll of leaving. For actors who commit themselves fully to a role, an abrupt exit can feel like a personal rejection. He admitted that he wrestled with disappointment, not just about the character's end but also about the friendships and working relationships he was leaving behind. Yet he stressed that walking away was ultimately a choice for his own peace of mind. He wasn't pushed out the door against his will. He chose to exit rather than linger in a space that no longer inspired him. One of the most striking moments in his remarks was when he addressed the fans directly. He thanked them not only for watching but for speaking out when they felt his work was being overlooked. He said that fan voices matter more than anyone realizes, and often those voices reflect the truth that actors themselves are hesitant to say. If audiences felt his character deserved better, it validated the frustrations he had been carrying behind the scenes. And that's where the tension with Laura Wright becomes so interesting. She has long been the center of storylines, and she's vocal about how soaps operate. From her perspective, actors need to trust the process. But Charles highlighted that trusting the process can become an excuse for mediocrity. He insisted that when the process stops honoring creativity and growth, it's no longer about trust, it's about complacency. That kind of clapback landed hard, because it put Laura in a position where her comments seemed dismissive, while Charles came across as the one pushing for higher standards. The drama didn't stop with those comments. Industry insiders started weighing in, hinting that there may have been quiet tension on set for months. While nobody outright confirmed heated arguments, the sense that Charles was unhappy had apparently been circulating for a while. The difference now is that he said it out loud, and by doing so, he changed the conversation from gossip to testimony. The fallout could have ripple effects. For the writers, Charles's departure and his criticism raise uncomfortable questions. How many other actors feel the same way but haven't said anything? How many characters are being wasted because the focus remains locked on a few longtime stars? And for the fans, how long will they tolerate seeing potential Measure did, whether intentionally or not, was shine a light on how soaps juggle legacy characters with fresh talent. Laura Wright's comment that this is an ensemble show and everyone must adapt rings true in theory. But Charles countered with the argument that ensemble should mean balance, not favoritism. If balance is missing, then the ensemble claim loses meaning. It's also worth noting that Charles didn't burn every bridge. He complimented many of his co-stars, praising their professionalism and warmth. He said that the majority of his experience on set was positive and that his issue wasn't with individuals but with the system itself. Still, his words directed at Laura Wright struck a nerve because they exposed the divide between veterans who feel secure in their roles and newer additions who are fighting to be seen. As the dust settles, the big question is whether his comments will push the show to reevaluate its creative direction. Will the producers take a closer look at how they develop new characters? Will they make adjustments to ensure that actors like Charles Mesures don't feel expendable? Or will they brush it off and continue as usual, relying on familiar faces to carry the weight? For Charles, the decision seems final. He made it clear that he isn't looking back. He said he's grateful for the fans, grateful for the chance to be part of the General Hospital legacy, but also relieved to move on to projects that challenge him. That relief, he said, comes from knowing he spoke his truth. He didn't leave quietly. He didn't let his frustrations be reduced to whispers. He clapped back, set the record straight, and walked away on his own terms. And while Laura Wright hasn't fired back with another statement, the silence itself speaks volumes. It suggests that the producers might be working behind the scenes to keep tensions from escalating publicly, but fans will remember this clash. They'll remember the honesty Charles brought to the table, and they'll remember that sometimes the most compelling drama doesn't happen on screen, it happens off it. For longtime viewers, this exit marks more than just the loss of a character. It highlights the fragile balance that soaps must maintain, honoring the past while investing in the future. Charles Mesures' words are now part of that ongoing conversation. Whether fans agree with him or not, his willingness to speak openly ensures that his exit won't be forgotten anytime soon. And so the story continues not in Port Charles, but in the hearts and minds of the audience, who will be debating his remarks, his clapback at Laura Wright, and what it all means for the future of General Hospital. Come back to our channel for all your updates. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel.